Hey guys. Thanks for joining us tonight on another edition of Monday Night SlotCar Live. Where tonight we're going live with Matt from Patriot Hobbies, Raul from Conquest Racing Club, Josh from 406 Speedway, and we'll talk about him in a moment, Mark from Mark's SlotCar Garage, and of course we have Steve from Stockpile Hobbies. Thanks for joining us tonight, Rick. I absolutely appreciate it. Fantastic. Claude, thanks for being here. How is it in Quebec today? Tom, thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate it. Doug, as usual, thank you very much. Wildman, thanks for joining us. Hey, Billy, how you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we might have to talk about that a little bit. Maybe not. It's kind of embarrassing. Hey, Danny, thanks for joining us tonight. Awesome. All right, so I thought while people came in today, we would do a quick discussion about these few cars that have just come out. Hey, Scotty, thanks for joining us tonight, brother. Just in time. So here are the cars. They're by AFX. They're newer ones. I just sort of want to get the panel's opinion on what they think of the liveries on these cars. I know. We have a good mix here today of large scale and HO. So we have a true slot car show going on, and we're going to get the opinions of everybody today. So we're going to start off with the Chevelle. And you guys in the comments, let's hear what you think of these cars too. We're just talking about the liveries. We're not concerned with the chassis it's sitting on. We know it's a Mega G chassis. Although I am fairly impressed with the mags on this car. At least they're not that AFX gray. So let's start off with, let's go to Mark first. Mark, what do you think of that design on this car?
I think it's nice. Yeah, it's another Chevelle. Looks like a 71, actually. The wheels are nice. They look like Krager wheels, actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the black color, but...
Right. I do like the sparkly gray. It's got like a gray fleck.
Yeah, that is kind of... I just noticed that myself. It's kind of cool.
I did like that. And, of course, you can see on the side there's a decal there that is like, let's see. I wonder if no, I can't do that. The decals are pretty tight on this car. They're when you get really close, there's not a lot of overbleed by the painting and that kind of thing. So, Raul, what do you think about this design on this car?
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, there's good amount of detail for the size of it. Like the wheels, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I think AFX actually did a decent job with making sure that the standard gray wheels were not put on this car. So, Steve, what do you think of the Corvette? Is this enough styling, do you think, or do you think AFX just... I'll say I do like the mags once again. Of course, this is just their generic Corvette shell. But what do you think of the paint job?
It reminds me of the Gas Pump Garage. I forgot what it's called. The gold Corvette they did. It looks like kind of like a clone of that a little bit. The livery looks really good though. The details there and the fish gills on the side and the flag and all that. I don't like the black over the back of it though. I used to have a Corvette like this and I never liked that. There's another way of doing it where they tail wrap the back bumper of the car and they black it out. It reminds me of that a little bit, but might have been better all gold. But I can see why they want to break it up because it could just be a little overwhelming with too much gold.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, and then it's got those turbine wheels on it. That's late 80s or early 80s style on it too. So it's good seeing that it's different.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I definitely like that. They actually look fairly nice. They definitely are better than the standard gray.
Yeah, it is a chrome bumper car though, and it wouldn't have had those wheels though back in the early 70s. Though they have a different style of wheel on it, but
that's right.
Gives you variety though, as we were complaining about last week, not having variety. So it's
I agree, and this car, how they've done it, I don't think the paint job is. I think this car would actually look better, to be honest with you, if it were just gold with these mags.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, or maybe all jet black with those mags. But I don't know about the half and half. But that's my opinion. I mean, we all have our opinion. Josh, what do you think of this look?
I pre-ordered it, and it's a shelf queen right now. So
okay,
I dig it. I like the wheels and the gold and the black. Yeah, like I said, I seen it, had it on pre-order, and yeah, I like it.
Very nice. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a decent car. There's no question about it. I have all the ones leading up to this, which means they're all just basic colors: the orange, the copper, the red.
And I'm not even a Corvette guy myself, but I seen that one, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be a nice one to at least sit on the shelf and have it on for display.
That's right. That's right.
I think they should have made the T-tops black a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking about that too.
That actually would be a decent idea.
That's how they actually did them back then too. They might have like the black roof on, or they'd have a tinted glass on top.
Right.
All right. So, Matt, what do you think of this livery, brother?
Oh, I like this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get at least one of these. I like it.
I agree. I'm a big fan of this livery. They've done. If you've seen my video, I got a little bit close on a few of the decals. They're spot on. They're really tight. They look nice. They're not blurry. I mean, the Mustang on the very front grille, you can see there. That is really nice detail when you get close to it. And the best part about this car is I could really see AFX doing a few more of these different colors possibly, and maybe even like a GT 500. But I love it. They've done a really great job with this car, and I have to commend them for doing something that's out of the norm.
Yeah, it looks tough.
So,
Raul, it looks like the same wheels that are on the Chevelle, right?
Yeah, except the wheels on the Chevelle.
But don't the back wheels look fatter for some reason, or is it just the picture? I don't know. It's just something about the rear wheels look fatter than usual for an AFX.
Here's the original Chevelle, and it has the crappy AFX gray mags. Can you guys see that?
No, we still see the Mustang.
No, it's just
okay. Hang on, I got to do this. Sorry.
Yeah, that'd be great if it came with two different size of wheels on there.
See, there's the Chevelle, and it has those crappy gray mags. Although those mags are exactly the same, they're just not chromed.
Yeah, no, I mean the new black gray one you showed earlier, that it has the same wheels as that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm saying it's the exact same as these, except those ones are chrome. These ones are just the gray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look, it appears they chromed the tires or did whatever they did. So, Raul, what do you think of this? I know from the larger scale, the liveries are really nice. What do you think of this?
Well, it's classic Mustang racing colors. Yeah, I like the stance. Looks good. Looks like a drag setup.
Right.
Yeah, no problems with it.
Yeah, very nice. Mark, quick comment. What do you think?
I like it. I think it's sharp looking. I'd probably pick one of those up.
So now let's ask the question that needs to be asked. Who would be interested in buying this car?
I'm going to buy. I already got two of them.
Do you?
The pre-order.
Awesome. Yep. I'll be buying one for sure. Maybe two, but at least one.
Yeah, me too.
What do you guys in the comments think? Would you buy it or no? Yay or nay? So these are some really nice. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's definitely got to have one of these, and I don't disagree. Finally, AFX put out some really nice stuff that's not attached to somebody's exclusive. So it's absolutely a great idea. And like I said, I could see this happening to a few different liveries of this particular car. As AFX does, they'll probably drop 2 or 3 more in the coming months. But as long as they look tight like this is nice. I think this is what we all want. And like I said, when AFX puts them out, the cost of the cars aren't $100 American. So the price is right for that car, and it won't be crazy priced. So this is what I like.
It's still too high price though. It's probably going to be what, like 40 something bucks American.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, Marty. And I can absolutely tell you in the last few years through AFX, this is probably one of their top cars that I like personally in my collection. So absolutely fantastic looking job they did. So all right, so let's see who came in while we were busy talking. I just want to say thank you first off to everybody, to all my panel for being here tonight. Guys, in the comment section, if you haven't subscribed to these guys, please do so. They all work hard, and we're all here on our own time to help prop up the hobby of slot cars. So I personally want to thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you very much, all of you. I appreciate it. And I definitely want to thank everybody in the comments section for taking the time to join us. Fantastic. And one car at a time will grow the hobby much bigger than it is today. So thank you. I appreciate it. So where are we here? Slots is in the house. Thanks, brother. Happy to have you here. William, thanks for joining us once again, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, here we go. The dealer. Kenny's in the house. Oh, that's trouble for sure then. Kenny's here.
Yeah, Kenny's already wanting to put a Jag chassis under that Mustang.
Of course, right? Yeah, it's a really good looking
Oh
car.
yeah, he is. I guarantee that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what else are you supposed to do with it?
That's right.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Mega G Plus. You can make it one.
That's why I'm buying 2 of them, one to rack and one to put on the shelf.
That's right. Yeah, what is this?
I'd put it on a Viper if I could.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about this car. It's not going to be ridiculously priced because, like I said, it was released by AFX and not someone's private exclusive. So, just makes it interesting. All right. So, Steve, what do you have there on the? Actually, hang tight, Steve. Before we get to what's going on there, Mark, would you like to take the floor for a moment?
Do I have to? No.
No, you don't have to at all.
Yeah, no, I could talk a little bit about. You guys probably saw some of my videos I did today. I've been playing around with a bunch of different controllers. And I mentioned several times that I'm going to be doing a giveaway when I reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to be giving this OS3 Lite controller away that I still need to do a review on though. So, but yeah, and I'll probably be giving away a couple other cars as well once we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So stay tuned for that.
Wow. Awesome, brother.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great, man.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the controller. This is the OS3 Lite you're going to be giving away?
Yeah, OS3 Lite. I mean, it's very comparable to, all the ones in this price range. This is a $79 controller. It has a adjustable sensitivity knob. It's a little bit small, the knob, it's tucked in there. So
Right.
it's not as easy to adjust as the DeFalco 505, but I guess it's not as easy to accidentally hit or move around either. And it's more compact. So I feel like this controller can probably take a little bit more abuse than the DeFalco with the circuit board sticking off it. So for like a house controller or a controller you give to guests, I think this is probably a really good option actually.
Right.
It works well. I've been using it. It's a good controller for $79 for sure.
So what do you say the highlight of that controller is?
The cost.
Cost, yeah.
I mean, it's a transistor controlled sensitivity, so you can adjust it for pretty much any car you're going to use, from low ohm all the way up to T-Jets and Mega G Plus cars. You won't have any problems controlling a wide range of cars with this controller. So if you're looking to upgrade from stock, like the set controller, this is certainly a good controller to take a look at and put on your list to think about.
Nice.
Or you're not going to break the bank with that $79 controller, and it gets the job done. It's perfect for like your home AFX type track.
So remember, guys, this is the 1,000 subscriber giveaway by Mark at Mark's SlotCar Garage. If you're not subscribed to him, please go do so. He is so close right now. He could literally fall off the step and never see the time of day. Now, he is so close right now. It's crazy. We got to help him get there. Eventually, he'll get there by himself. I mean, organically, everyone will finally get there. But let's not have to. Let's help him so he doesn't have to wait. All right, and plus, it'll get that awesome OS3 Lite controller in someone's hand a lot faster. And of course, it does sound like there's going to be a Viper or two as well. So stay.
2 Vipers. I'm actually going to give away one of the cars I bought from you, the modified car, and then I'm building my own another 6 ohm car that Steven from Rooster Racing. He's sponsoring that build for me, so he's donating some parts. I'm getting the armature, his hot stock Joker armature, which is a really good armature. I have that in a lot of the cars that I race at the club with, so it'll be a nice build.
Right. Yeah. So that'll be okay for sure. All right. Raul, you had a few deliveries this week. Would you like to maybe give us a highlight of the awesomeness that you call Conquest Racing Club, please?
Okay, sure. I got a couple of Revo slots, but so we have the 2 new Toyota GT1s. These just came out. So this is flat black.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And it also comes in black and gold as well, which I got. It comes in a bunch of liveries. I think Marty got the Gulf colored one.
Marty, which one did you get?
Same thing, GT1, but in Gulf colors, except in the pastel blue and orange. But I like black, so I got those. And then I got a bunch of older ones. So I got another GT2 Porsche. Because who doesn't like more Porsches in their collection?
Oh, that is nice. Golf colors. Oh, golf colors. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I got that. I got the old school rally car. This is to compete against the Alfa Giulias. This car is super small. It's really cool.
That is so cool, man. That livery on that car is out of sight.
Yeah, so East African Safari Rally, so I like it. And then I got a McLaren GTR because I don't have any McLarens from Revo Slot, and mostly buy the MR SlotCar ones, and I want to see the difference. So I picked up this one.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Amazing liveries on these cars, hey?
Yep.
Fantastic.
So yeah, those are the Reaver slots that have arrived so far, and we have many more coming. So should be fun.
And you have the new track layout at Conquest Racing Club in the Lair. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I got the Dragon's Tail. So it's 24 feet by 16 feet. So
Wow.
it's a big layout.
And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, please go see Conquest Racing Club. Absolutely fantastic track. Sorry to interrupt, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just a new track. We'll be doing a lot of car reviews starting in February. We have 120 cars set up for review this year. I have help now, so starting in February, we'll be pumping out 2 cars a week. So yeah, if you want to see cars, I have over 550 in my collection, so we will be pumping them out.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to see some high res. Looking forward to definitely those high res close ups. I'm sure you'll be doing and all that kind of thing. More tech going on there than I could even think of. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we have live digital racing too. Will be coming with pit stops and everything, head to heads. So yeah, we have a whole bunch of stuff coming.
Nice.
Yeah. So starting in February, January's just been a crazy month for me. So, but we'll be back.
Something's going on with track bands.
That's right. We have a live stream starting this Thursday, bi-weekly. It's a reaction live stream. We were talking about reactions earlier, but it's more about reacting to what's going on in the slot car industry and what we think. Yeah, so it's more of an adult show, so don't expect to be nice on that show. So, yeah. Anyway.
Really? All right. That
Yeah.
sounds like my kind of show, man.
Yeah, it's just no holds barred reaction.
Oh,
So.
I'm in.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. It's definitely not Pete's alley, but because his show is always PG. But I told him this one is a no hold barred show, so it should be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Pete's a super awesome guy, man. I so enjoy watching. I keep saying to myself, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay up and I'm gonna watch this live, man." 10:30, I'm like. Next morning, I'm like, "Oh shit! Of course I missed it again."
Yeah.
I always watch it on 1.5 because times 2, I think it's just a bit too fast. 1.5, you can still hear what people are saying, and you get the whole entire gist of the video, but you don't have to sit through the whole entire thing.
Yeah. So SlotCar Shenanigans is the name of the show. Comes out on Thursdays every bi-weekly, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10:30 p.m. UK time. So yeah. So we'll be on Thursdays.
Nice. Awesome. Be totally looking forward to that. Something good, something new, something exciting for sure. Something to look forward to. Right?
100.
Fantastic, brother. Awesome. All right, Steve.
You had an interesting week. Had some slot car sales on eBay and track too, surprisingly. A lot of track sold out of the blue. And then I had a subscriber reach out to me. His name was George, and he asked me to do some LED lights on a few of his AFX cars. And he also mentioned Auto World to me, and I was like hesitant at first. He has some of the nice rigs they have, and they have the X traction under them.
Right.
And I told him I'd rather not do the Auto World ones because, the way the flame formers used to work. I was assuming they were older chassis. I know, Dan, we were talking before the show about them putting a plate on the side to have a pickup for the lights. But I was afraid to take the shoes off, lose the springs. I don't have those parts anymore. And
oh yeah,
we didn't interfere as we did videos on a year or two ago of them not sitting on the track brake because of the solder between the shoe and the chassis.
Dude.
But yeah, he's going to send the 2 AFX cars, so we'll throw some lights on them for him and get those back to him. And on the transfer side, I found a short packed figure this week today. I think the storm over here in New York helped him stay on the shelf long enough for me to find him. I used to collect Hot Wheels too, and they would always have the special flame car on the package, that short box of one per crate. I think they did that with this figure here, but I've been looking for him for 3 months. He showed up, so that was a nice find at Walmart this morning at like 8 o'clock. So
yeah,
so some of the things, and what's funny is too, they give you a short pre-order window online, like an hour to get to it. If you don't order it then, you might never see it again unless you pay a markup on eBay for something. So it was a nice find, actually finding something out in the wild for once. It's been a while since that happened.
Yeah, this is that's pretty cool, man. So what's coming up? I heard some things are coming your way very soon, Transformer wise, Steve.
Oh yeah, grabbed some upgrade kits for some of the big guys here. So maybe next week we'll show an upgrade kit, how it looks on one of the figures compared to one of them without it. I have two of this one got Devastator over here. So might be cool to show off a little bit of customization there with third-party people making parts for things like that. Similar to resin bodies, that people make for at least for HO scale. So it's a good way if you're missing variety too to get some resin bodies and take a chance on painting and customizing those too, adding blowers to things and of that nature, and like you mentioned, liveries and other things like that too.
Nice.
You're not always stuck to just getting what they offer you. There's a lot of people out there making great products to fiddle with.
Yeah, there sure is. So what is the highlight of this kit you're talking about?
It does some upgrades to like parts. They're meant for kids, obviously, but some of the things, if you look at them wrong, things will fall off. And I'm hoping it takes care of some of the issues with his forearms and some other things. A lot of things they make is just to fill in waffle on the back of the figures. Okay, he might have one here. So like on the figure here in the back of the thigh, it would show it's hollow. They'll sell a lot of inserts for things where so it doesn't look so hollow, like on the wrist, things of that nature.
Oh,
to do.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll have to clean them up, things of that. I don't buy a lot of those, but the ones for the big guys are nice to get. Of course, I bought more of the ones. I bought one to sell too, so they were on sale, so I grabbed a couple of them. They sell pretty good after about a year if you hang on to them once they become hard to get again.
Mm-hmm. Marty, have you tried running HO cars on your Carrera track? If you have a switch box, you can run the HO cars in analog mode. What you need to do though is you need to put like a little sleeve over the guide pin, and the sleeve is what Shen RC or BS slot cars. Steve at that channel, he's been putting a WD-40 spray hose. He cuts it a little bit because the pin has to be a little bit thicker or the car jumps around in the slot. But once you've done that, you can run HO cars on your large scale track, no problems. Check out BS slot cars. He does it quite a bit. So, and he's done a very good job at it too, so. And if you're going to do a routed track, have you thought about maybe making it yourself? It sounds like a good channel project.
Yeah, I think that's what Marty's doing because he has a friend that can route sheets for him. Yeah,
I see that's the way to go then. Even myself, I made the 3-lane drag strip for HO just by using a finishing saw blade, and that was just wide enough for AFX pin. Oh, okay. Looking for plans. I'm sure you probably find tons online. It's never come across to, I would have always just built as you go kind of thing. So, Matt, what's going on with you lately, brother? I see you got a lot of stuff going on in your background.
Yeah, well, we have all those birds in here. It's really hard to get anything going right now. I got this track set up. I just been riding in the car the whole time we've been live, honestly. I'm muted, as the chat can know, because these chickens are calling and the turkey's being noisy. So that's why I've just kind of been muted and just hanging out. I do have a question though for Mark. I saw on your controller video earlier that when you were talking about the lizard, that you have those Harry Potter slot cars up there. Do they run at all?
Yeah, they have Tyco 442s under them.
Nice.
Yeah, they're just too big. They don't fit under my. I'll show you what he's talking about. And these just came from a Tyco set. They made a whole Harry Potter set, but I bought the little figurine. So there's a Slytherin guy, and he's the one that hits the. He doesn't make it under my timing bridge, but it's just got.
Nice.
And then of course you got Harry. My kids are big Harry Potter fans, so I got these for a pretty good deal, and they're pretty much
pretty awesome.
They run fine, yeah. But apparently they have like magnets on the hands, and if you actually look up the kit online, it's like a whole, the Quidditch game they play on the broomstick. So there's like it goes around the track and it hits something magnetic, and the plunger goes back and forth, so it could knock you off the track. It looked like a cute little set when it came out. Cool. I don't know when it actually came out, but these are the if you want to call them cars, but these are what came with that set. Yeah.
Nice. Josh.
Yeah.
Want to explain to us who you are and what your channel is?
Well, so basically, kind of started getting into the whole HO drag racing about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. And so it's just basically what started out as a bunch of guys, hanging around an Auto World drag strip, and kind of just took off from there. Went from the Auto World drag strip to I got a 30-foot 4-lane drag strip with the circuit track and track mate system and that whole sort of thing. So then we started forming little groups, little clubs, and we have weekend races once a month, between my track and another group member's track. So I thought, hey, let's I like doing this. Might as well share what I like, and kind of led into the whole YouTube thing, and kind of went from there. I'm going to drop some videos later on this week doing index racing, bracket racing, the ins and out of that sort of thing. Kind of touching on the controllers. I mean, those, reaction times are half the battle with drag racing. So, and the controllers are part of that. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's basically kind of where we're starting off at.
So this is so your YouTube channel is.
It's gonna be it's 406 Speedway. Yep.
406 Speedway.
Yep.
And this is up and running now?
Yeah, it'll be I'll have some videos out tomorrow.
Perfect.
As well as maybe later on in the week. But the index racing and the bracket racing, things like that, those are going to be a series of videos. So they can get kind of in depth and describing those things.
HO Drag Racing, there you go, folks, and another channel about ready to get going. We have a question. Where are we here? Raul, maybe you could take this one. Talk about analog versus digital.
In what respect, like on the 1/32 scale stuff or the large scale?
Yeah, I would go with the 1/32.
Yeah, so I mean, analog is analog. It's a single lane. Digital is more immersive. I think it's catered for. I don't know. I think digital racing is in its own right a really cool thing. A lot of it. What happens, I find, is a lot of people get started in digital because it's fun, because you have 4 cars or 6 cars racing on the same tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get your friends over. But then when you start getting more serious, you go to analog because, that's serious racing, more time attack, more tuning setups. But I really enjoy digital racing personally. I like the pit stops, the weather changes, the tire changes, all the... I enjoy the being able to undercut and overcut with pit stops and stuff like that. So there's a lot of strategy to racing, which I feel is more immersive than just analog racing. But there's merits for both. But Yeah, personally, I'm more of a digital racer. Yeah, and that's what I want to promote on my channel a lot more, because a lot more people show analog cars going around the track, but it's really cool to see digital cars racing like 100 laps with
Mhm.
fuel stops, with pit stops, and you can see how much a pit stop can change, and penalties as well. Like,
Yeah.
if you knock each other off the track, you can give the person that knocked you off a penalty. So, and then you have to serve those penalties in the pit lanes. So it's pretty interesting and very, very, very immersive in my experience.
Okay. Um, I think they're curious to know how you run the two different ones. Like, I think the thing that they're probably looking for is the axle box.
Yeah, there's three different ways. Well, there's more than three, but let's just talk about the different technology that's out there to allow you to switch tracks. So with the Scalectric Arc Pro unit, if you go Scalectric Digital, it automatically has a switch on the back of the digital box, so you can switch analog and digital for Scalectric on the Arc Pro.
Oh,
I do
that
have
I
an
did
Arc
not know.
Pro. Yeah, I have an Arc Pro setup that I'm getting in, so I will be testing that out. On Carrera, unfortunately, from factory, it does not have that.
No.
But you can buy aftermarket products. So there is Omni Slot Box. They have the really expensive version, and they have a toned down version. You have Axle Box that does the same thing, and you have Tech Slots. And then Marty and a couple of other people, I think SlotR is also doing it. They've got their own do-it-yourself boxes that they've created, and they have schematics online. And you can do a lot of, you can go and do it yourself if you want to. I myself have both a Tech Slot box and I have an Omni Slot box. Right now, my Dragon's Tail is built on the Omni Slot setup, so I can use a professional grade analog controllers. I have independent power supplies to each lane as well. And you can run really hot motors with the Omni Slot box. You cannot do that with a Tech Slot because it's governed by whatever Carrera's stock digital controller can run. So yeah, so there's a little bit of nuances between the different variations of technology that's out there, but yeah, you can definitely get the best of both worlds if you can get a Switch box.
So looks like JD John has an analog. Basically, did the same thing I did. Bought an analog and then bought a digital set afterwards. Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do. I understand what that's like. um, but you you can combine them both. You just can't run the two. If you're running digital, you can't run the Evolution Power Pack. You have to run the whole digital computer. You can't just run the.
Yeah, so the thing that you'll lose if you switch between analog and digital, if you're switching the control units, is your analog controllers cannot work on a digital controller pack. So you have to get a full digital system. So you'll need to get the digital controllers, whether it's the wireless controllers or it's the standard wire controllers and its own CU unit. You also have to be very careful with some of the lane changers. So the curve lane changers or the single lane changers, I think they have what they call jumpers on them, so they could short the analog system. Crossovers, I think, work fine. And that's what it's also true with the Omni slot box and stuff. They do. If you do put curved lane changers, you have to go in and remove the jumpers from the curved lane changers in order
Oh,
to not get continuity onto both tracks when you switch to analog.
right, and
Yeah,
that's
so
where it arcs, right?
that's correct. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's a couple of little things. I think Johnny Hobbies is another channel out there. He does a really good job explaining that.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. Yeah.
on what you can combine with analog and digital. So if you really want some information on that, Johnny Hobbies does a fantastic job on that. I am releasing a series of videos that will talk about Carrera Digital from beginners and all the way through, how to program cars, how to code cars, how to do it with the control unit and without the control unit, which is a lot of cool little tips and tricks. So I will be doing that starting, like I said, in February when I start launching my videos again. So
Nice. Awesome. What do we do? Oh yeah. Steve's going to be doing a feature about prepping and painting cars coming up. We're just in the midst of sort of working things out with that, though. But I think just about everybody agrees that one thing they remember about the most about Stockpile Hobbies is the ability for him to paint just about anything. So, it's going to be good to see, even for myself, because with getting into, I'm going to be painting some white bodies, 132nd, and I'm going to be making some high performance cars, somewhat like what you did, Raul, where you changed out the motor, and I'm going to do the axle bearings and that kind of thing. Like right down, I noticed for even the Slot Invasion kit, they still give you the what do you call them? The
Bushings.
The bushings.
So you have machined bushings.
Right.
Yeah, I have the conical bushings too, those self-centering ones. But yeah, because there's a direct replacements with Carrera, you're not really off. And if you are, just get a reamer and ream through, so you
That's
get a nice, clean run through the axles. But he's got the cool thing about Slot Invasion. He's got high-grade machined axles as well that go through those bushings. So yeah, you don't really need bearings on your bushings when you use Slot Invasion, but you can get the bushings with the bearings inside. So it's up to you. But so far, I've had a great response with the standard kit that he sells.
Yeah, it looks actually to be more than adequate. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to use all those bearing bushings for the fronts for the independent suspension, because what I did notice, and I was happy about it, is the bushings inlaid inset a little bit. So it's the bushings on the inside is not the same width as the bushing on the outside. So I'm going to be able to put the locking bushing on the outside after I finish cutting the axle, and of course cutting it down a little bit, so it'll just be a nub sticking out past the axle part there. I'm actually pretty pumped about it and so ready to get it started. But it's going to be part of the sort of like just a hop up series kind of thing. I really like what you did. I don't have, of course, a hop up motor, but I want to see basically how much difference independent front suspensions will make from deslotting and stuff. So yeah, so it'll be pretty busy in the next little bit. I'm waiting for a few deliveries and that kind of thing. So excitement as you wait for stuff to come in. Get a little more excitement about different types of things. So yeah. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up, mention, detail, something of the sort?
I have a big race coming up Saturday. Going to be racing on 3 different tracks. This is a privately owned out in Bowling Green, Florida. So this is the second time I'm racing at this location, and I raced out there back in September. That was one of my first actual club races, and I did not do very well. So I'm hoping to have a better showing this time. But the Kielbasa Hobby Room out in Bowling Green. He has
Kielbasa.
See that picture, but he's got 3 really nice tracks out there. And I don't know if you could see that. Who's that guy in the white hat right there? But this is actually a picture from September out on the Facebook page. So
is that you?
We're going to be running. Yeah, that's me. We're going to be running ceramic super stock on this track. These are all 4x16, approximately 60-foot lap length. This is called the El Nino. We're going to run spec racer class on that track. And the last track they have called what do they call this? The TC Swamp Raceway. This is a pretty challenging track. We're going to be running box stock and IROC class on this track. So
that's a pretty cool track.
That's happening this Saturday. I don't know if Rick's still on the chat. I saw him earlier. I'm going to be racing against Rick. And I just realized he gave me his Viper cars, which I tuned up for him. And I got them running really, really good. And I started thinking, man, I got to race against these cars. Maybe I should sabotage these cars before I give them back to him. No, but it'll be a lot of fun. It's always fun going out there. I had a good time last time. And, you know,
Nice.
Good turnout there. I think there's going to be a pretty good turnout this time, but it's like 15 guys out there last time almost, I think.
Well, it's just nice to hear, somebody's racing and having fun doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
By proxy, I guess it's kind of we get to sort of enjoy the racing through you. Looks like Rick is still here, by the way.
Oh, don't worry, Rick. I'm just joking. Your cars will run okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless I can figure out how to, just before the last heat, maybe make a tire pop off or something.
Oh, there you go. All right. So if we ever had the right person in the house for the right question, we definitely are about to get the right answer. Raul from Conquest Racing Club is just happens to be here tonight. Would you like to explain it, Raul?
Yeah, so that's why I was smiling, because I was like, yeah, the Global Racing League was something that I created last year. It is specifically catered towards people that are just starting out with Carrera, and it's a Carrera Digital Racing League. Oh no, so Carrera League is not digital. It can be analog or digital. Doesn't really matter because we do time attack. And it's based on time attack against other racers built on the same tracks, built on the global inventory system. So right now we're in season 1. We are over the halfway mark. We have 5 rounds left to go. 6 if you include this week, because we race each round every week, and every racer does a live stream with 2 other GRL members, and they get to do their time attack rounds. 10 laps. If you deslot, that's it. Your lap, you just count whatever laps you completed. So it's a pretty cutthroat league, but it's got 4 different classes, 4 different tracks. So a total of 16 rounds. Yeah, we give points away, fastest lap, etc., etc. This season is only 10 racers, and we end our season at the end of February. So in March, I will be putting out a call for the next season. I know there's a whole bunch of people that have reached out to me. I will only have 20 spots available for season 2. So as soon as I go live, I'll let Dan know. I'll let everyone know. I'll be putting up posts for signups next season. It will be $25 to enter for the full season. But I think it's a really cool thing that has taken off, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, if you want to get involved, let me know.
There you go. So anybody who's interested, get a hold of Raul. He'll get you the information you need.
We have a website, so scgrl.com. Everything's there. You can see all the racers, all the cars that are being raced, all the rounds, all the tracks, the global inventory that we have. And every season we have, by community, we have $200 allocated for growth every season. So next we have, everyone can add $200 to whatever it is on the global inventory list, and we can upgrade for the next season. So it's a very structured, and it's meant to be a beginner league. So it's not meant to be blow the bank or anything. We're keeping it very, very manageable as we go season to season.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's you basically standardized it so everyone could take part in the exact same race using the same equipment.
Yeah. So same footprint. So we have a standardized footprint size. I think it's 9 by 7. So 9 feet by 7 feet is standard footprint. That will never change throughout the size of the league. It will always remain 9 by 7. Track pieces may change as we keep on buying more inventory, but like I said, we'll only allocate $200 per year to be spent. So the only investment you'd have to actually make is $200 for the next season if you want to, and if everyone agrees to it. So we do this by committee. So as much as I created the league, all the league members are involved in making decisions as to what is upgraded. So for instance, for this season, we start with box stock for round 1, round 2. But in round 3 and round 4, by committee, we decide we'll allow Paul gauge tires to be added as the rear wheel upgrade and truing, and also we allowed the new slot invasion guides to be added this season. So season 1 allowed for those 2 upgrades for round 3 and round 4. So the whole thing is to just step people through in a very disciplined manner, but really just having fun through racing. And I think everyone who's in it right now is very, very excited about it. Everyone seems to be, really invested into it. So that's what it's meant to do, and that's what it's built for.
It's actually pretty exciting racing action when you watch people do their runs. It's a serious thing, and people are taking it seriously. So you can really feel the intensity of some people. Yeah.
Well, I just did my run today for this week, and I'll tell you, my heart was pounding when I did my live run, because as much as you practice, and my practice runs were way faster than my live run, because as soon as you say this is my actual run, remember, as soon as you deslot, your run's over. So as soon as you come out of the slot, that's it. That's it. You could have 0 laps. I've had people had 0 laps. They deslot on the first lap, and that's it. You get 0 points. So it gets really intense real quick, because you have to perform in that moment, and I had this happen. So up to the last round, or the round before last, I had never dislotted. I had a perfect record, and I lost focus for 1 second, and my car went off the track in lap 5, and that's it. That's so it's an awful feeling, but that's part of racing, so it's fun.
That's right. Steve, how what's going on with your SlotCar collection?
It's all for sale on eBay.
So
give me that eBay name then.
Stockpile Hobbies. It's on there. Start looking for custom SlotCar customer stuff like that. You'll find some of the auctions up there. I think it's ebay.com store/store, and then actually, you know what? I'll put it in the chat. I'll find it again. But yeah, I got all the stuff you saw in the videos, the customs I painted, lots of track. There is a complete 1 or 2 drag strips worth of straight track of Tyco and Marchon and Lifelike track. You can make tons of drag strips out of all the track I have up there, and that. Surprisingly, I'm surprised a lot of the resin bodies that I had, I didn't paint, haven't had any action on them. A lot of the resin parts. I think the resin blowers you can get for some of the people out there. I'm trying to remember one of them, Jimmy's Hot Rods. I can't remember if that was the site name or not, but he had a lot of resin snorkels and blowers for the hoods, and just painting those and gluing those on the cars gives a whole different characteristic to a lot of the cars. Just think of if you got 1 or 2 of the same body, you change one up. And like Dan mentioned, we can do maybe one of the weeks here we'll do some tips for painting, a lot of the tools you need, protection you need, and a lot of painting comes down to prep. Anyone who paints knows it's all in the prep. The painting is the quick part. That's the easy part, and being patient, letting it dry thoroughly, and using the right masking tapes, or if you're going to try and pinstripe and using whether it's going to be stickers for that, or if you're going to paint them on. There's different ways of doing a lot of those things, but I think we come up with some good tips to give everyone in the live stream.
Right. Well, that's what this channel is all about: is sharing what we can and getting everyone all together on the same issues, same thing.
Yeah.
It's what makes the community great. Everybody shares. We all learn together, and I don't know. It makes life easier when, of course, you can get the answers for the questions you have through various people to get the answers, of course. Well,
totally.
So it's nice. Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight, Delon. I appreciate it. How's your HO SlotCar collection coming along? All right. So, wow, 1 hour already. That's pretty quick. I'm gonna try and keep it down. We'll start shutting her down. I don't want to go too long today. There's a lot going on coming up. But if you guys haven't had a chance to check out my new shorts channel, it's Carrera Racing. It's called @Carrera Racing on YouTube. And it's just going to be 130-second shorts because I don't want to plug up Slot Valley Racing with all these shorts. Some people don't want or don't care. And the shorts thing is kind of a little different anyways. So I'll do a shorts, 1 or 2 maybe for Slot Valley, but the Carrera Racing channel is where you'll find all my good shorts that I'll be putting out. So like I said, I don't want to overwhelm anybody or bug out my channel. Plus, shorts really screws with the actual metrics of your earnings on YouTube. So I'm trying to keep them separate. You could be extremely fooled by having a great looking view count that doesn't pay anything. So I just an example. For 1,000 views on any of my shorts, I think I made 3 cents. So yeah.
Yeah, if you try to get monetized off shorts, you gotta get like 1 million views or something ridiculous.
That's 3 million actually, but yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe Carrera Racing was available as a channel name either. And for all these years, no one's had that. That's a good grab.
Yeah. There's 10
amazing.
channels. There's 10 channels with the channel called Carrera Racing. But
Okay.
it's me. When I started, it was somebody had 21 subscribers, and then now I have whatever it is, and everybody else has 0. There's a lot of people that started with that name and just have nothing for subscribers.
Yeah.
I guess everyone was all like, "Yeah, I'm going to start my channel with my new racetrack," and nothing happened. Or maybe they like the sunglasses and were like, "Hey, I'm going to start a channel for my Carrera sunglasses." And Buddy was like, "Hey, but you only got 1 pair of sunglasses." So,
Right.
it's like, oh, great idea. But what is this? Yeah, right? $3. Do I need to? I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, I don't think anyone needs to remove any.
Oh my gosh. All right, Delon, you're cut off, brother. I just got that one.
Dan's a little slow.
Yeah. I think I need to go have some gummies, guys. Of course, all the Canadians laugh right away. And of course, anybody who knows me. All right. So, yeah. Yeah, holy, eh? Slow, very slow today, very slow. Yeah, it's gummy time. And Irene made some really good oatmeal cookies too. So, pardon me, and banana bread, I've just been told. Sounds good. So me and Irene have our SVR Family 100 coming up. We'll be running that race probably tomorrow. So look forward to that. We tried to get through it today. It was a little hairy. A few things were going on. For one, trying to get the SD card in the camera figured out. And, oh my gosh, man, so ridiculous. But we got it figured out. We had to order some things, and they're all coming. So pretty soon, I'll have 2 cameras on the track as opposed to just one. And
what cameras are you using?
I'll be using the GoPro White. GoPro White. Does that sound right?
No, which GoPro? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, it's like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a. It's just a normal thing. I think we got a good deal on it. That's why we picked it up. And of course, I'll be using my iPhone or the wide angle view camera I bought.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off to deal with these kids, man. I'll see you guys.
Right on. Take it easy, brother. Thanks.
Sorry, guys.
See you, Matt.
Holy crazy cats. There we go. There's several ways of dealing with that, Delon. The best way to deal with it that probably won't affect much of anything is, do you have one of those green kitchen scrubbies? It could be green, it could be blue. It's really rough. It's used for scrubbing dishes and that kind of thing. Most of them are green though.
A Scotch-Brite pad.
Scotch-Brite pad, yeah, absolutely. If you use a Scotch-Brite pad on the track, and then just give it a wipe with. I use 99% isopropanol. Yeah, Scotch-Brite. Yep. I actually have the.
I use these that I picked up. These are like a Scotch-Brite, but I also use just a little sanding block, a very fine sanding block.
Super fine.
Yeah.
So
and then whatever you want to use to clean it afterwards.
Clean that up. Yeah, but make sure when you do your rail prep that when you're done, you make sure you wipe it clean, because if you don't, all those fine particles get sucked instantly into the magnets of your car and your gearing. So everything gets.
That's why I don't like the Scotch-Brite pad, because it does fall apart and it kind of gets all over everything.
Yeah.
This doesn't. So I use the sanding block. Personally.
I like I was saying, the Scotch-Brite pad I have is actually one of those scrubbies that you put the soap in the end of.
Obviously, yeah, like the handle.
Yeah, don't put the soap in the end though.
I think I have one of those too, actually.
Sometimes you just gotta say that, like I'll get a message like, "Hey man, I did what you said. There's soap everywhere." What?
You mean one of these?
Yeah, that's it. Oh man, those things work awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just give it a quick wipe with isopropanol. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I sand mine down, and then I do use WD-40 from time to time on my track. A lot of people don't like it because obviously it's a lubricant and you really got to clean it off good. But the Viper Sintra white track, the WD-40 just makes it look like brand new. It takes all the tire marks off and everything. It really cleans it really good.
Right.
He mentioned connectivity being bad and sketchy. It might be the joints, or if you got too many joints, you might need to run power taps, depending on what you're seeing. If you're seeing the car slowing down in one section for a length, or you're seeing it like slow down on one piece of track, try bending the tabs between the tracks in so they get better connection between them.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, there could be several variables, but Delon hasn't probably been running the track for that overly too long, so it's probably just a simple cleaning issue. And the good thing is, just about every HO channel out there has done their version of how they clean their track. I've done it. I've done fairly extensive videos on how I clean Slot Valley Racing, the HO track, and wow. So if you're not sure, you can check that out. But I mean, it's fairly basic. You got it. It doesn't take, just scrub the shit out of it with the scrubby and wipe it off. Make sure you wipe. You could literally, if you had to, you could use a damp paper towel with just water on it. But it is metal, and you probably don't want to do that.
It depends. I mean, if there's the, like oxidation or whatever on the rails, right, you need to use some kind of a little abrasiveness to clean it off.
And then what we'd usually do, Delon, is we would run a car down it a few times. I use Super 3 chassis because they're absolute garbage, but they do a really good job of prepping the rail for running the other cars. I find my Tyco 440s they'll run across the dirty ass rail. I think they get power through anything. Those old buggers, they work really good. But grab yourself like a scrap or a car that really isn't overly important to you, and use that one to prep the track. Run that car down the track a few times too, because that will also have the same effect of scrubbing the rail with anything. You're just going to be using the shoes to rub the rails and then clean it off when you're done. Yeah, what do we got here? Mark, yeah, once again, great review on the controllers. Absolutely fantastic. I think people like those kind of higher end and lower end type things. It's a good example.
I almost got like guilted into it because when I did my review on my higher end controllers, I was getting comments like, "You shouldn't do reviews on $250 control." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Josh, what keeps happening to you, brother?
I'm sitting here and I'm watching you guys, and all of a sudden my phone just cuts off connection. And it says something like I'm not sitting close to my router or something like that. But my router's like 10 feet away, so unless I'm sitting right on top of my router, it keeps on going out. But as far as like the track cleaning goes for the HO track, what I typically do is I run the vacuum cleaner over it first, and then I'll kind of rub the track down a little bit, trying to feel for some high spots, and then I'll take a nickel and kind of rub out those high spots, and then the sanding block or the Brillo pad, whatever you choose, and then just a decent cleaner. Alcohol works real well, or even railroad track cleaner works pretty well.
Oh yeah.
You kind of also want to condition the plastic pieces too. So that stuff gets kind of old and dried out too. So there's a lot of different ways to clean it. But if it gets too bad, then you just replace that piece of track.
Yeah. In the end.
The Armor All cleaning wipes work pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
To clean the track.
Yep, they do.
And of course, the more you drive on your track, the less you have to clean it. So just keep racing.
Just put your cars on a 24-hour loop, so it keeps on just running by itself.
I think the power pack that you got with the Auto World drag strip is only 14 watts or 14 volts.
Might even be 16. I'm not sure, but
16. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty low.
It is low. If you bought, I don't know how into it you want to get deal on, but you might want to go with something aftermarket power wise. You don't even have to buy like a computer one. You could just go with what Mark bought. He bought a 2 amp power supply, or even if you're just to buy AFX power supply, the tri-pack or the Auto World dial one. That would be much better than what you currently have right now. And the plungers for Auto World, well, I showed the difference between Auto World plungers and Carrera plungers. And, well, let's just say Auto World needs to step up their game largely.
Yeah, it kind of just falls apart in your hand, those Auto World controllers.
Yeah, you can pick up gentle. You could even pick up something cheap like this. I use this to run my dyno, but this is actually a 3 amp. I think it goes up to 24 volts, maybe. I think it's 9 to 24 volts. It's 3 amps, so this is like 3 times more current than an AFX power pack. And this thing is like $19 on Amazon, something like that. Yeah. But as far as power goes, we could talk about that extensively. But there's a lot of things that you have to think about as far as what cars you're going to run, how much, how low of an ohm motor are you going to use. If you're going down into like 1 ohm, really crazy drag cars, then you need a higher, current. You'll want to get like a 10 amp supply, like a 30-volt variable 10
Yeah.
amp supply. But if you're just going to run Mega G Plus cars or Tyco or regular AFX, then you don't have to go crazy with power. But
Yeah, that's what I got. I got two power supplies, and they're both the 30-volt 10 amp. One
yeah, I
for
mean
each,
they're
one for
cheap
each
enough.
track.
Yeah, even those are only like $50 or less on
Yeah, that's
Amazon.
yeah. Haven't regretted it.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't need to use the whole 10 amps though. It's just much. It's
Well,
more
for a drag strip, only 2 lanes, 10 amps might be a little
Yeah.
overkill,
a
but-
little much. Yeah, like considering you
Yeah.
only need like one of that.
I mean, I use my 10 amp to run my 4 lanes, so it's supplying that one 10 amp supply is supplying power to 4 lanes. So it's
Right.
really only like 2.5 amps per lane technically.
I try to use all 10 amps.
That's a good question. Let me tell you right now, I did actually build a 3-lane drag strip myself, and I did use copper conductive tape. I find it works really well. It actually does work really well. Now, like I said, I just built a 3-lane drag strip, which meant I only had to lay it out straight. But if it worked in a straight line, it should definitely work in a moving it around the track if you have a router. But the copper tape that I bought absolutely works fantastic. It did a really great job, and let's just say I was very surprised in the results.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to use that on a road course because if you want to use high downforce cars, you need a rail.
You need a rail or a braid style inlay kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the tape too, because they'd have to stretch the outer curve and shrink the inner curve as you lay it down. Otherwise, you'll get ripples.
Right.
These are the rails that Viper uses. I don't know if you can buy these anywhere, but that's.
Yeah, I think I seen somebody who was building their track, and
Now Viper does sell these, but I don't know. I forget who asked that question. I know he wasn't in the United States, so I don't know if he can get these from Viper or not. But they do sell these in 20-foot lengths. These rails, and these are
Yeah, check eBay. I'm sure someone on eBay sells it probably for cheaper than where you have to pay from a third, someone selling it.
Right. Yeah, I've seen somebody use it, buy it separately from somewhere on eBay as well. So, but I did find, like I said, if you're just doing a small project and you want to just do like a quick, just a tester. It's really easy to do because all you do is you just hook the bare wires right up to the rails, the copper tape, and you can just do a test run because you can just run a short little piece just to test your theory, I would say.
What measure? Oh, those rails. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I could measure them if you want. I could break out my micrometer and do a quick measurement on them.
So Marcelo, do we do a measurement for you, brother? I think so. Let's do a measurement. We'll see what we got here. This is what comes with the Viper kit. Obviously, they give you a little bit extra.
So this looks like.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing, brother?
Wait, let me do it in millimeters. Looks like 2.4. So the height of this rail is like, it says 2.43 millimeters. Maybe that's not, maybe it's 2.4. 2.45 it looks like. The thickness is 0.4. 0.5, yeah. 0.4. And what else do we need? Is that it? Yeah, it's yeah, 2.4 high and like 0.4, 0.45. So the height of the rail, if it was in the slot, is 2.4, and then the thickness of the actual metal is, what did I say, 0.4,
Yeah.
0.45.
2.43 or something.
Yeah, 0.45 thickness, and the height is like 2.4. 2. Yeah, like 2.4. The best I can do.
So I made power taps for my track myself just by using cord. I actually noticed the cars were slowing down, and because my halfway point of my track is a foot and a half away from my starting point, I literally took a cord and cut it in half, and then that gave me the two cords I needed for each lane to jump to the other side. All I did was skin them about an inch off the end so that there's an inch worth of wire sticking out. Then I bent the wire over and jammed it in the hole. Yeah. $50 saved, brother. Well, and one less lamp in my house, though. I'm like, I need jumpers. I go look and I'm like, $50? What? Man, I don't need 15 feet of cord. I need like one, literally. I look around the house. Oh, that fan's gone. Didn't work good anyways. But yeah. Yeah, it's the top two, the very top two 60s that are sort of back to back with each other. I'm gonna be buying borders for those two so we can slide around them a little better. Yeah, just working on things right now. And like I said, I went and bought Arena True Speed controller as well too, and that one doesn't have a brake either. This power start thing where you hold the brake down and the trigger at full speed, that kind of start. I feel like you get the same start when you just pull the trigger back super fast. But and Carrera controls the braking anyways for each individual.
How much was shipping to Canada for that True Speed?
Oh,
it's 25 American to Florida from England.
yeah, I think it was 35, but I was blown away that I wasn't made to pay import fees because it did come from England. So I was pretty sure that there was going to be import fees attached to that. I don't know why there wasn't, but hey.
Yeah, I still think even with paying the $25, I think that's a good deal for this controller, because this controller has variable sensitivity and brakes, which you don't see on a $70-$80 controller. So they give you a lot for your money with these True Speed controllers. To get like a DeFalco with variable brakes, you're moving up into $115 or something. A very similar. This comes out to $113 with shipping. So I still think it's a good controller even for that money.
I agree. They're absolutely priced correctly. I looked through all of TrueSpeed's inventory, and I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I believe this is a company that's just trying to make their way, and one controller at a time kind of thing, without trying to make all their money from one controller right now. You know what I mean? I
And
believe they're growing
they
up.
have some interesting higher end controllers that
They do. They do.
MOSFET controlled and all kinds of stuff that I don't fully understand yet, but I want to do a little more research on those.
Right, and the building parts, the add-on parts, they have HO and 132nd. They have, of course, they have the digital and the Evolution controllers, or analog, I guess I should be saying. It would be more appropriate. But yeah, they have a good selection. I mean, I could really only talk about TrueSpeed right now. I know there are other great controller companies out there. But, every once in a while, you just got to say, I hope I don't have to come across them, because TrueSpeed should last me until I die now, right? Because these controllers are fantastic. I really like them.
I can't speak for the longevity on any of my controllers because I haven't had them that long. So hopefully they last.
Yeah, Marty uses the TrueSpeed as well. Raul, do you have any TrueSpeed controllers?
Yeah, I have TrueSpeed and I have Ramjets for Carrera Digital.
The Ramjet.
Yeah, Ramjet controller.
And is that comparable? That's pretty comparable to TrueSpeed, is it not?
Yeah, so the one thing that I like about the Ramjet is, like, TrueSpeed's, the wire that comes with it is pretty short.
Right.
And then the Ramjet has a really long one. So, yeah, and they're comparable to each other. I think the TrueSpeed is comparable, but I really like my Ramjet controller. That's the one that I mostly use.
Right.
Yeah.
Burn Dog, the digital controllers is the one that I'm using currently right now, and I can tell you right now, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a really great, well built controller, definitely made for adults. It feels big in my hand, and I have big hands, but it's nice, it's comfortable, and it's definitely made for adults. Unlike the AFX 120 ohm controller that's made for 4-year-old smoking babies. Yeah. Operator Al, I want to thank you for becoming a member. I absolutely appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Fantastic. So, what is it that you're into, Operator Al? Pardon me. Are you HO? Are you large scale? Do you take part in it all, like a few of us here? What's your specialty? Talking to my newest member.
Or is it Operator AI?
Yeah, that's him. I'm assuming it's a him. Take that for granted. I should be careful, I'm sure. Getting back into HO or large scale? It seems there's so many people who get back into HO. It's the story to HO glory, as I call it. I'm wondering if that kind of thing, do you come across that at all in a larger scale role, where you find people are gravitating back into slot cars after quite a while?
Yeah, I think in general, like, you see a lot of spike in slot car content. So,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these new people coming back, or people that used to race HO or have history with slot cars coming back to it. So,
right. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think people are realizing, and plus it's a little different now, because before we were at the mercy of what our parents bought us, or what we can sort of pull out of our parents. Now, everything that we wanted when we were kids, we come back to the hobby, and I can tell you what, I'm pointing fingers and emptying my bank account. Everything that I always wanted and could never have because, you know, you can't have everything. Says who? Right, Raul?
Yeah, I guess so.
Can't have every single slot car, but you can have pretty darn near all of them. Or all the good ones, anyways.
Yep. Yeah. From 37 to 550 in 2 years. Not bad, I think.
There we go. HO then got a Carrera Digital. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, guys? Good timing. Yeah, I'm actually glad that I picked up the Carrera Digital. I actually like having the HO. It's a different experience altogether. I Carrera Digital, man, I'm totally loving that stuff. Totally loving it. I like the idea of what it has, and I know that Carrera Digital, as opposed to analog, is like a novelty because of all the things it has. It has the pit lane, it has the 6 cars, it has the, you know, it had all this, that, the other. It's got, man, tons of cool stuff. All the stuff that, you know, people wish that HO would have, or at least would come up with. HO's stuck in a little bit of a loop right now where there's no innovation happening whatsoever. The cars are pretty much the same. The chassis are the same. And the only thing that's happening now are the 2 major companies just keep producing cars and don't upgrade the system, the track, or anything of that sort. Now, Auto World did a pretty good job. They put out their wireless controllers, and we've talked about that before. And they're supposed to have a timing system for their new 4-lane track. Well, it's definitely doable because Carrera did it. Other companies do it. I don't understand why HO is tripping all over it. But it's like I said before, when you can make your money just by producing cars that you already have in your inventory and putting a different color on them, and you sell them and people buy them, then why would you need to upgrade your equipment?
Yeah, talking about HO, I just got these micros. Electrics.
Hang on a sec. Oh, yes.
They come with braids.
Oh, little tiny braids. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. They're the micros from Hornby. They're little electric cars. So these were sent to me by Nico from Austria. Sent me
And
2.
it looks like they have aftermarket tires on that one too. There.
Yeah, he put silicones on both.
Yeah.
Do you know what motor is in that car? I had somebody bring one of them to my track this weekend, and it was interesting. I had to, it was so sensitive. I had to turn my sensitivity all the way down to 0, and I still had a hard time controlling that micro scale electric car. Like, it barely touching the trigger, the car was going. So I'm just kind of curious what's in those cars.
I have no idea. I was this was sent by Nico. I can definitely ask him. I think this is what they race at 1/64 scale in Austria all the time.
Yeah.
It's the micro electric stuff. So.
And
Yeah.
what, Dan, what do you like about the larger scale, since you've just been getting into it, compared to running your HO cars?
Just sort of the little more realism. I like the idea of having something else to do, like being able to pull to the side and fuel up kind of thing. For real. Carrera has a really good interactive display where you put the cars in, the people's names, what car they're driving, that kind of thing. I really like the driver's display. I like the fact that with Carrera, first off, let's put it this way. The first thing I ever said about Carrera was, and I didn't have to pay extra for the lights.
Oh, that's cool. I was just reading the comments. Somebody commented about the micro scale electric.
Most cars come with a front and rear lights. Not all, though, but
yeah. I think they run that smaller car at a lower voltage. Burn Dog was saying, so maybe that's it. Maybe I had my track turned up too high for those micro scale electric cars. I was running it 18 and a
Yeah,
half.
it doesn't like because these are electric. I don't think they run high. It's like the Go series,
I
right?
didn't even think about that. The voltage. Yeah, that could be definitely 6 volts. Wow, that's way lower than what my track runs at. No wonder it
Yeah.
was flying off the track. Sorry, Dan, didn't mean to cut you off. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear
I
me?
think Dan is frozen.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is that me or?
Dan's left the building. Oh no. I don't know what we do now. No, just kidding. Yeah, he left the building. He'll be back. I guess we'll run the show now.
That's
Mark,
right.
what do you?
Thank God that guy Dan is out of here.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm interested to try these guys out. I'll run a series.
Yeah, I'd like
head
to
to
see
head.
that. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, run them on the big track.
And we're down to 3. I think Dan
Uh-oh.
and Josh
Josh.
are hanging out,
Yeah.
having the same problem.
So
Hey,
I
Josh.
noticed you have a big Transformers collection. I used to collect Transformers. I
Oh,
have
yeah?
all the combiners.
Oh, the original or the newer ones?
I have the original and the new ones.
Very nice.
I'm waiting. I think they're releasing the Dinobots one, right? Soon.
They did about 5 years ago. They did a Volcanicus during the Combiner Wars.
Yeah,
But
is it?
the came over a little bit. They're all there.
Yeah. So I have that big lime green one thing. I forget the name of the manufacturer, but I believe they released the Dinobots version as well, right?
Yeah, they did. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool. I sold a lot of the older ones and I bought all the newer ones with them, and then they were getting brittle. And after after you get them all, it's like, okay, what's next? All right, I guess I'll move on to something else. Same thing with the slot cars. Did a lot with the HO stuff, and it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, I also have the Japanese versions, the metal ones.
Yes,
The
the die-cast.
Transformers. I have a whole bunch of those guys still.
Very cool.
Yeah, I used to collect a lot of them. My friend collects all the Beast Wars stuff, so
yeah,
he has a huge Beast Wars collection.
Yeah, I got all that stuff, all that jazz. Enzo was into it for a little while, so he did the slot cars, and he kind of reverted back to a lot of the gaming stuff. So I'm getting ready now. In a couple of years, I'll be liquidating all this too, and be on something else too.
Hey, Steve, somebody asked a question. Here's a question. What can I do to straighten out my drag strip? Each of the drag strip sections has a slight arch to it right out of the box. Have you ever encountered that with your drag strip?
I used vintage Tyco and Like Track, even Marshawn. You might have if the tabletop or whatever you're using as a surface isn't flat, you might have to somehow figure out how you could try and maybe heat the plastic a little bit, but I wouldn't do that. I mean, you might warp it, or just try different pieces of plastic in an area, or shimming the whole track, I guess, if you can, around it, areas underneath it, trying to, I don't know, get it up. I never had anything that had any twist in it really like that.
Yeah.
I did with some of the banked curves. And if they would, I noticed a lot of the bank curves I had, they would actually disjoint, and I ended up super gluing them to keep them together. But as far as the drag strip being crooked like that, maybe leaving phone books on it overnight, see if it might help it adjust. But I'd be really careful. I'd be hesitant to put heat on it though, to see if you could get it to resettle.
Yeah, a couple of my 15-inch AFX I did notice had a slight little kind of. I didn't have a drag strip, but just like on my straightaway, I could see 1 or 2 sections were slightly bowed, but it didn't really affect anything as far as on my road course.
Yeah, I guess make sure nothing's if it's really tight in the area, nothing's compressing it, so it's causing it to do that, and just make sure the area underneath is flat. I guess really use a leveler, a bubble down the cable you got it on.
Screw the sections down.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Slots has a question. Dollar for dollar, do you think HO gives you more bang for buck and at a cheaper price?
I don't have any experience with anything other than HO, so I can't really answer that.
Well, I got the Super International AFX set at five, the big one that builds 21 tracks, the F1 or IndyCar ones. And that in Canada cost me around $700 Canadian. And then you can buy a digital Carrera set, the 3-car set, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and that's around $900 Canadian. So it's not that much of a difference between the two. I think where it comes down to is space requirements
Space, yeah.
because
I was just going to say, I think it comes down to space and the
yeah, I
size
don't.
and the size of the track that you want to build in that
Yeah,
space.
Yeah, I would agree too. I mean, there's deals to be had on like Craigslist and Facebook. You just gotta be there at the right time to get it because you can get great, the larger scales at a great value compared to what you get at HO too. You can get those at great value too, but you know, I experienced a lot of HO. All my experience was HO, and if I did it again, I would have gone a different scale. It's where the industry really is really shining at. You know, there's more of a push of innovation there and just options compared to the H. Like we just talked about like 20 minutes ago. It's just the same stuff being regurgitated over and over and over again.
Yeah, the digital stuff sounds real cool. I like the idea of multiple cars on one lane, and that sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to try that out. In fact, I think my buddy Rick, who's on this chat, if he's still on, I think he has a digital Carrera that keeps saying he's going to set up. So maybe one day he will, and I'll get to
yeah.
try
So Echelon, I know it's only $260 US, but with the conversion and the shipping to Canada, it's crazy. Comes up to $600.
Well, 259 is cheap. I mean, normally I think the Super International even here is like closer to 350.
Yeah,
most places. But
yeah. So I think comparable. I think slot cars in general, it just comes down to how much space you want to put into your layout. And then obviously like there's so many tiers even in the larger scales as to what tracks you want to get. I mean, you can get really high end, and you can get, just like you have, Mark, you have the Viper track layout, which is the high end or the upper echelon, and then you have the the AFXs and your Tycos and your Auto Worlds that are your beginner tracks, I guess. So yeah, it really comes down to, but I think in terms of investment wise, I think they're pretty similar. They're actually pretty similar in investments, I think, and the price of cars, I think, is about similar too.
Yeah, that's the depressing thing, is how affordable, or the price of those nice cars you guys use in the larger scale with the headlights and taillights and all the, they're beautiful, and I'm paying more money for this silly little thing than you are for that really nice car.
It's right there, the bang for the buck's in the larger scale. You're getting more for your money out of it, really.
Yeah, we don't get as much though. I think you guys have a lot more in terms of selection from what I've seen. When I see like Adam put up all his cars on his wall,
Oh yeah, you can go crazy with all the bodies.
There's a lot more bodies from the actual side of things than on the large scale. But obviously, large scale has developed. Like what I'd say is the large scale in the last 10 years has really kicked up a notch in terms of tech, in terms of how they produce their cars, the printing on their cars, the liveries on their cars. It's really changed the corner. I think a lot of that's to do with Fly and them really, driving the market forward and getting more detail into cars. And then and that's where I think the larger scale just appealed to me, was just the detail level of car. Because as a collector, I'm not really a racer. I'm more of a collector. So for myself, the details what drew me. I mean, I could go buy a model car, but at least this car I can drive on the track if I want to. But and that's what drove me to the 1/32 scale, was just the right size to have enough detail to add to a collection, but also it could be put on a track and make to run. And I think that's what the draw was from my end of things.
That scale is easier to customize too. I mean, trying to use a fine tip paintbrush to do a headlight on a 1/64 scale car with my old eyes is just nearly impossible. just to have that in a larger scale, be able to put, like you mentioned, if you're going to be customizing things too, it's a lot easier to add your own customizations to them at that scale versus being teeny tiny and having to be so precise.
Yeah. No, yeah, painting. But then, you start paying 1/32 figures, it comes to the same thing. So putting
By
the
the way,
eyes.
by the way, this is one of the cars I'm going to be giving away when I reach 1,000.
Hey, look who's back. Glad you could join us, sir.
I don't know what's going on here, man. Holy.
Hey,
All
what,
of a sudden,
what are we outside? He's got a hat on now.
I look up, everybody starts spooling one at a time. You go black, then you start spooling, and then the next one, and then then it gets to me, and I'm like, oh shit. Bye. Wow. Awesome. I thought everyone was going to be booted. Thank you guys for holding everything together.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
No problem.
I don't know what was going on while I was gone, but I hope it was all legal.
Yeah, we answer a few
Came back
questions.
just in time because
We only said good things about you, Dan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You got to head out, right, Raul?
Yeah, I got 2 minutes and then I got to jump. So it was great talking to you with you guys.
You too, Ro.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, same to you, Steve. We gotta catch up. We gotta talk about Transformers.
Yeah.
I have to brush up my knowledge though. It's really rusty now. So, but yeah, we should definitely catch up offline.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Going to get your pump on. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go watch the
Sure.
second half of the Eagles game.
All right. So we're going to shut her down, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you very much to everybody on my panel. Make sure you check in next week. Steve's going to have his the Transformers, the add-ons, and we'll be ready to roll next week. And thank you very much, Raul, for being here, and for Mark for explaining the controllers to us. As you can tell, we're very appreciative of that, and I thank you very much. For everybody in the comments, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Everybody, don't forget, get your heart racing. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah.